So I'm just gonna put on music. And this is gonna be sloppy because I'm not prepared for it. But okay. Dota 2 Pro Tracker. So since you haven't played Dota, I don't know how much you know, but this is the easiest way to explain it. There's a post on Team Liquid. Here's a. Here, I'm just gonna do a desktop capture. Oops. I'm dumb and misspelled roll. Okay, so this is the way it works. So there's people usually refer to this as the 1 through 5 system. I think you can see it. Yeah. Alright, nice. So the way that it works is position 1 just means that you have the most, like, you're the dedicated farmer of the team, and position 5 means you are the least priority in farm. And 2 would be mid heroes, 1 is safe lane, 2 is mid heroes, 3 is off lane heroes, usually playmakers or 3. The tanky go in playmakers. Mid is usually like tempo heroes that will control the mid game with their offlaner, but the offlaner is usually the guy that controls team fights, but he's still really tanky. But this guy's usually a tempo controller. This guy's what I do. The 4 hero is the playmaker for the early game, and the 5 hero is like the like lane security. At least that's like the easiest way to explain it. Now there's a lot of variation in there, and it all is very hero dependent, and 5 heroes can roam around and do a lot early, but just for like the earliest introduction we can do, what we're gonna do is watch I'm gonna find a 5-player replay of what's a hero. Well, let me see. What do you play? What heroes do you play in 5? Lion, Ogre? Are people playing Lion 5 right now? Looks like it. Don't worry about it. Just like whatever you like is easy. Oh, dude, this guy? This guy's in fucking an MD2L, or at least he was. Sonico, Misery. Oh, you know what? Let's watch this one even though he loses. Because I like Misery, and ideally that this will just give us an idea. Now I gotta switch over to my Dota scene. Oh, whoops. Sitting back on my class while my cheeks are grinning, I laugh and I pay attention. Outside, I'm making your life in a flash of my newest signs. Consider how I find time to make sure that I unwind more damage in your lungs, finding other bodily. I want to see if he feeds really early. When I find the words to combine in my mind's a high rise, a side guy willing to compromise. Skydive and nosebleed down the polar public opinion that I climb. Good replay. He probably lost because he has a razor. Yeah, he lost because he has a razor. Bad hero. Okay. Well, now that Artsy's back, this isn't a showtime. I'll listen to this in my last support tutorial. Shh. Oh, that's the wrong, Come on. Let's do it. Okay. Feel free to ask questions as you have them. I will open up chat. Okay. We're going to watch from Misery's perspective, and I'm going to really try to talk the most about what I can here. So, this is a bit of tigers. Okay, well, this is what I kind of actually expected. So Lion's actually playing 4. Most people do play Lion 4. He went Boots because the tree is playing 5. But their lanes are a little wonky. But he's going Boots because he plans on making plays, and that's usually what Lions do. Ogre is a 5 hero, but Lion's kind of more of a 4 hero. He needs a little bit of items like a blink and stuff to do a hell of a lot. Setting up for First Blood. Over bounty runes, you kind of always want to fight over bounty. Well, that's not true. You want to fight over bounty runes if you have the stronger level 1, and that's just going to be an experience thing. In this situation, you have the stronger level 1 because you have an Ursa, and Ursa's a really strong early game hero, purely because of Fury Swipes, but he didn't get him. He got Urshock, probably to do damage. No, I'm too tired, I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. So Ursa is a pretty strong early game hero. He took probably his Q level 1 because this spell also does a lot of damage, and Ursa Q slows. And they were probably just trying to do as much damage as they could with the thing. Slows are usually better early game than stuns, as like a rule of thumb. Okay, so this is some basic lane mechanics in Dota 2. So what you'll notice is what everyone's positioning around here is the ranged creeps. Now ranged creeps are 2/5 of the EXP in a wave. And what you will find is he's going to stun here to try to secure this range creep. And he gets it. Now, why did he take that farm from his carry? It's because the range creep is so much EXP that if he feels like my carry is in a risky position to get this CS, I'm just going to take it. And that's fine. And you're going to see him just fighting. Because a support that kind of just sits around and doesn't really do anything isn't really contributing to a lane. At least this way, he's like making them burn regen, and this is like really the how you manage trading. So you see how he clicks on him here, and he sees, okay, this guy's got 2 tangos and a Bassi, which means he wants to spam spells. But like, tangos is really what the regen game's all about, and that's what Misery knows. And he knows he's winning these trades because he's got more damage than this guy. So he's just gonna keep trading with this support so that the Ursa gets the 1v1 against the melee hero, and Ursa, because of Fury Swipes, excels. What Fury Swipes does is every time he hits somebody, he gets just increase number of damage for every single auto. He's going to try to go for this kill, but this is going to suck because now he doesn't get the range creep, and the range creep is probably going to get denied yet. So that was a little bit of a grief from Misery, but he really wanted that kill. But that's a big part of wave management, is trying to secure range creeps and deny range creeps. Range creeps, the easy way to put it is if you deny the range creep and 1 melee, you've won the wave because you've denied 3/5 of the EXP. If you get 1 melee creep and 1 range creep, you get the CS instead of denying them, you win the wave then, because, you're getting the majority of the EXP in the wave. As long as you can get 2 denies. Okay, so this is something that's a little complicated to explain, but it's a big pet peeve of mine, so I'm going to go in depth about this, and this is pulling. So as a pause 5, 99% of the time, you are just going to want to stack this easy camp and pull it. The way you stack is you auto it at 53 or 55 seconds, anywhere in that window, and you just walk over here. For this one, same thing for this one. You can usually do 54 for this one just to be safe and just walk down, because sometimes you get the hill trolls and they stack weird. But The reason you want to pull this is because when you pull the small camp, it's way farther out of the way for them to interrupt. So if they do interrupt it, oh, well, you want to stack it, by the way, to make sure that the shit dies. Because if you just have one, it's just going to push back, and they're just going to get 2 waves, and it's not really useful. But if you stack it, you get to farm the small camp on your own. You get solo EXP. You get to deny them creeps. You get to force them out of the lane to go do something, because they can't really just sit there without creeps. And also, if you stack this, you can pull it, like, several times before you have to stack it again. Like, you can pull it, like, 2 or 3 times. And the reason that's so much better than pulling this is because... like the position of it, it's all like if you're up here and you pull right here, all they have to do is walk down. Like, also you can't do that, but like, whereas when you're over here, like, look at how far away this is. They have to go out of their way to stop this, which just gives your carry so much time to do whatever he wants. But the reason he's pulling this is really specific, is because the wave is so far up now that if he goes to pull this one, his carry will just get gone on and die. So the only reason he's trying to pull this is solely because he needs to be close to his carry. After about this part in the wave, you really can't pull like that anymore, because then your carry is just gonna like lose. Like, if your wave is this far up, pretty much your carry has to play really defensively, because he can't really just walk into 2 heroes up at this point and expect not to die. Same thing for down here. If the wave is like past here, or like past here, you can't really walk up and go get that without expecting to die. Honestly, because I'm greedy, I'd say even here. Ah, okay. That's better. That was fucking weird. Wonder why that happened. I don't know where I cut out, but basically, like I was saying, is I just get frustrated because in solo queue, people will pull, and then I will just either have to give up 3 waves of farm, and they'll have level advantage on me and be able to dive me, or they'll pull and I'll try to do something about it and I'll just die. And like, that's usually the better one, is just dying. That way I don't just lose 3 waves of farm and give them 2 levels on me, because a kill on me just lets me come back with full mana or whatever, full HP. Which is like horrible, but I mean, people just don't understand when to pull. And like I said, this is just a lot of information that is probably really hard to digest really quickly, but you can go back and watch this as many times as you need. I'll have it archived on YouTube and I'll link it. And even then, this is just going to be like a shitty dry run, just to give you a better idea of how the game works. This isn't even like my real tutorial. I just kind of want to try this out to learn from, like, see how effective it is, learn from the mistakes, etc. So yeah, he's gonna pull again because, again, the wave's up here. The problem with pulling here, as you're gonna see, is it's just, yeah, it's so easy to interrupt. It's like, it's actually impossible to pull from this thing, like 9 times out of 10. It's just like not doable. But like, the reason he has to try this one is because he cannot leave his carry to go pull here. Resetting the wave is way less important than like just leaving your carry. If you have to just fight for carry farm up here, like, you just have to fight up here. It's just how it is. I'd much rather just try to force pulls here. Like, but if you prepare properly and you stack this camp when the wave is being managed like here, and you just keep pulling this like 3 times, and you just keep your carry under tower, that's like the ideal spot. Is you want to like preemptively do this shit. You don't want to wait for it to get bad. Because as long as your carry knows how to CS under tower, it's like actually just the ideal situation to keep him under tower. Unless you're against like an Undying. And if you're against an Undying in lane, he'll dive you. And she's dead because she's against an Ursa. It's a tough life. Now again, range creeps being the majority of the EXP, he's going to focus them. Now you see how he's just leaving EXP range? That's because... Oh well. Okay, he was not leaving EXP range for the sake of leaving EXP range, he was interrupting this pull. That's another job of the 5, is to not let them pull. He's probably going to stun this just to make sure that they get the EXP, because if these die to neutrals, they get no EXP. The neutrals get the EXP, and they don't level up. And then they can't use EXP, so... It's just a bunch of dead EXP. Oh wait, no, they get some of it. You have to deny it to deny the EXP, that's right. They changed that a little while ago. I apologize. Now, like, this is the best spot for, like, offlaners and stuff to pull, though. Because for a safe laner, this is really hard to interrupt. But notice how he has to tank this wave for this pull to work. And they have this huge hard camp stack. But now that they have lane control, that he can do it. Because this guy can't actually walk up to the Ursa. But you need a lot of things to make this pull work. And even then, look at how easily he could interrupt it. But they're denying them the entire wave. This is really successful lane. How did they lose this game, actually? Oh wait, they have a Razor. Never mind, it makes sense. This hero is pretty fucking useless. Also, so they don't have a real offlaner. They don't have anybody who goes in properly. So this Razor isn't gonna tank. He's not gonna stun. He's not gonna do anything really useful over the course of this game. And he's just gonna try to win the lane. And this is why I hate offlane Razor. And this is why I would just let it through, even though when I was playing on that LAN, my opponents picked it first every game. Is because it doesn't do anything after the laning stage. It's like really easy to ignore, and you can even counterpick it in the lane. Like, Morphling is pretty good against it. Every time he gets leashed, he's just gonna Q away, etc. So that's where picking heroes is important, but they're just making space now. They're just letting the Ursa play the game he wants. They're letting him farm as much as he wants. They're just diving and playing around up here, because honestly, what is Taiga doing? Okay, this is a little bit of a grief, but yeah, he's probably gonna try to pull this huge fucking pull again. This is kind of shit. You break his tree, you can pull up if you... Oh yeah, so here's another little secret to pulling. When you take damage, like, creeps will aggro way easier. So like if you pull up here, and you stand right here, and you're like, oh, I might miss the pull, and you take damage, the creeps will probably turn around and come... Electric piss baby Razor. Yeah, Razor sucks. I'll play him safe lane if I have a carry too, though. Like if I have a carry mid laner, I'll play him safe lane. Thanks for the follow. The next level play. And then generally at this point, the job of the 5 is a lot of fun little macro things about thinking about the map movements. Something important to do that Misery has not done this game is actually watch the map for dives and then like TP when somebody's getting dove and like just stun them. Rotating around is also pretty good when it's safe too. If you're a 5 hero and you want to rotate, as a rule of thumb, this ward's fucking bad, but a ward right here is fucking good. And the reason for that is like you want to get the ward in front of these trees, because these trees are going to... If you put it back here, you can't see the river. But this ward's also going to get dewarded like 99% of the time, and it's like really only useful for pushing because you can't see into the lane, and the vision in the lane will help you, your carry. But it also catches every rotation, so ward like in front of these trees up here on the into the staircase into the river. It's pretty poggers, and then you can roam, because without this ward
your carry has no vision and they can just hide and fog. And I mean, I'll buy my own ward most of the time whenever this happens, but it's better to not make your carry buy his own ward. Just because you get caught placing it. Let's just stick this whole stack. This is like, again, I really do not like this stacking thing on the maybe one stack, but like stacking this shit actually helps the offlaner way more than it helps the safe lane, because them pulling this is way easier than like the 5 pulling it. Like the offlaner pulling this shit is like way easier to successfully do than you doing it. How a 5 how the offlaner or 4-player pulls is as soon as the creeps hit this tower on the minimap, you just fucking pull it and you'll always get it. Whereas like you have to pull it like, what is it, 13 and 43 seconds on the easy camp and then run up. But that's really reliable. If there are any questions so far, I will answer. Do not hesitate. Oh, they're team fighting, and I missed this team fight. I apologize. This is like the most basic stuff I could talk about. I'm trying really hard to talk about all the basics, so that way I don't like talk about anything really overwhelming. I guess another thing I could talk about is when you trade with somebody in lane, something to note is like, so this is another really complicated thing that you can forget about if you want, but it is important eventually, and it's the way creep aggro works. So if I'm this Ursa and I'm standing right here, if the Legion is like right here and I'm the Ursa, and if I right click on this Legion and just walk back, all these creeps here will be like, oh, this guy's trying to hurt my friend, we gotta go defend our friend, and they'll run at me. And the way that like you can abuse that is to like just run straight back, and then you pull the creeps in a favorable position for you. And the way you avoid that is like, if you're over here and this Legion's here, if you right click her just one time, you will walk up. If you auto her just once and then walk back, you will avoid taking creep aggro, because creeps only update their like range, their aggro stuff every 2 seconds. And I don't think they don't really do it based on like damage dealt. They do it based on like commands issued. So like if you just auto them, they aren't gonna instantly just like run at you if you do it this far away, because it'll take 2 seconds to update like the most recent commands from that character around them. So what a really good offlane player would do, now this is crazy complicated, so what a really good offlane player would do is, if you're doing this constantly, he is going to stand right here. That way it will force you into creep aggro range every time you want to hit him, and the range creep will hit you once, and just that range creep hitting you one time, if the safe laner is keeping it perfectly balanced, if that range creep hits you one time, it means he's eventually going to get like 3 or 4 waves for free, because if that fire never ever gets returned, the damage will just eventually like keep trickling in favor of the offlaner, and it'll just be under tower for a long time. And like when you want to trade, it's usually like, yeah, oh, this guy's like tanking an entire creep wave, I'm just gonna fucking go hit him. Like making people tank creeps is like a big thing, and giving you advantageous trades. What else? What else is there to talk about? This is a shit game. I really didn't think this would be such a shit game. Misery's not playing very well. He goes Tranquils, and then he goes Stick. This is the most value item you could buy on a 5 hero, or on a support in general. And upgrading it's kind of bad, because you don't get as much out of like this extra 250 that you do for this 200 gold. Like the little bit of stats, like 3 stats isn't really worth it, and the 17 charges or whatever it is isn't also worth it. Or 20 charges. It's not worth it. You get just so much HP out of just keeping it as a stick. You're just gonna go Tranquils just for the mobility. It's not so much about the HP regen. It's just mobility. Lets you move around the map better. and moving around the map as a support's really important, because as a support, your most impactful period in the game is like at the first 15 minutes. So you just want to try to make plays happen all over the map, where you like you'll learn through just experience where you can be the most useful, and like how strong heroes are at what times and stuff. But my face when Steve will get it. Juan is useless, especially in early game. Well, Juan, I don't want to say Juan's useless. It's just like inefficient gold usage. And when you're the poorest hero on the map by nature, you don't really want to spend your gold like that. It's definitely useful. It's just like, unless you're against like a bristleback, you don't really want it. Oh, Misery just got owned. Oh no, this fucking useless hero is gonna get on to. Oh, he did it. But like, what was I saying? Yeah. So you're the most useful part. Your most useful part of the game is when your first 15 minutes are there, because in the first 15 minutes of the game, usually support heroes are going to be the strongest ones on the map, so they have the most freedom to make anything happen. And that's how you like carry games from the support role, is like you make plays that set your carries up in a position to just snowball. Learning those limits is really hard though, and really annoying, because it's a lot of trial and error, and it's a lot of just like feeding, or it's a lot of just like having game sense, I guess. But in my case, it was a lot of feeding, and then it turned into not feeding after a while. Look at this. This is so fucked. This stacked camp means this Morphling gets an entire free camp stack of farm, plus this wave. Oh, he's so happy. He's so rich. So I only want one Wraith panel. So why is Misery down here? Why is Misery camping this area? Because around 15 minutes in Dota 2, the map stops being shaped like this, and it starts being shaped up and down. It is no longer diagonal like this. Sorry, this probably hurts your eyes, but look at the map. It's no longer shaped like this, it's like this. Because this triangle, these triangles of these 3 jungle camps are the safest parts on the map for each respective team, because they're the highest parts of each map. So you can sit up here, farm. Well, it also has the Ancients in it, which is the most farm. It's like a kill's worth of farm. But it's because it's so high up and you can see so much. So like, what the carry usually wants to do is he wants to push out bot lane, farm these 2 camps, farm Ancients, come back, push out bot lane, and then just rinse and repeat this for a long time. And both carry players will do this. And that's why Morphling has sort of migrated up here, is because both teams now want to take this tier 1, so that way they have access to this entire jungle. And that's usually what Dota games kind of do, is both teams try to take their top tier 1s to give each other the safe, like, lateral level of farm. That being said, the most important towers in the game are always going to be the mid-tier ones, just because they give the most control over the most space, but... yeah, this tower's gone for both teams, so now the map has shifted shape. Hey. That's like just some general macro stuff though. S5, you'll probably be dealing with a lot of vision. I'm sorry, I'm stretching. S5, you'll probably be dealing with a lot of vision, and vision's really complicated and weird to explain. But the best rule of thumb I can give you is that aggressive vision is almost always better than defensive vision. And the reason aggressive vision is better than defensive is because if you can see where they aren't, you know where they are. And also aggressive vision will always enable more on the map to happen. So if you like ward this part of the map, And you're like, they're not in their safe part. They're not here. That means they're over fucking here. So I need to dodge them. But if one of your heroes is ahead and they want to kill and they can see like some guy is alone in here, like this just opens up the most opportunity and is just the easiest to play around. And if somebody gets caught, it's with like good vision like that, it's really hard to like, it's just tough because if no one's showing and this guy's like, why don't we have wards? I just got ganked by 5 heroes. It's like no one was showing. You died because you're fucking in the middle of our jungle and no one's showing on the map. You fucking dits. They're obviously smoking. How do you get down vision when it's hard? You can smoke. You can use a smoke. Smokes have an 11-minute cooldown, but they make it so that you can move without being seen on vision. It is important to know that they have an 11-minute cooldown though, because they're really important to use for aggressive plays, but when you're new, don't really worry about utilizing smokes too much. Just use them for fucking warding until you get the hang of moving around the map. What else is like easy to explain? Yeah.
Be really careful if you go out to the garage.
I'm not going out to the garage.
Well, even if James goes up into the freezer, it's all sheet of ice.
Is it raining?
It's freezing rain.
Okay. You should tell them though, because I'm going to bed in like 10 minutes.
I will.
Okay. Thank you though. What's RC's fucking back, so I can listen to music. Fuck yeah. They're running at him. Okay. Let's try to explain the macro of this play, because there's a little bit to unpack here. So, the reason that Radiant are here is because... Oh my gosh, this is so much fucking insanely good play from Radiant. So, this is the ideal sort of situation, I think. Radiant has their 2 supports moving with their offlaner at 14 minutes. That's because these 3 heroes are strong at this point in the game. This Lesh in particular is up here because he's a really good tower pusher. But if he was a different hero, like an OD or something, he'd be here fighting with them. Or like a Void Spirit, he'd be fighting with them. And the reason they want to fight like this is because it helps their Legion snowball, but more importantly, it buys time for their Morphling to get the items he needs to the point where he'll actually be useful. Because right now he's kind of useless. With just these items, unless you're super good at Morphling, and even if you are really good, it's really hard to be useful because every other hero is better than you until you get items. But they're dying, but it's kind of okay because the trade-off for them like feeding here is these guys not pressuring any objectives on the map. Like, when I look at the waves, I think I have hotkeys for vision. Yeah, so, like, look at the vision here. So, all of the waves are on Dire's side of the map, so they're gonna get these kills, back up, and have to just go, okay, well, time to get our fucking waves out. We can't really do anything with these kills. So these are, like, useless kills that just buy their carry time. And because there were so many people involved for these kills, they don't really get very much out of it. Man, I hate that this shit keeps coming unbound. This is so fucking annoying. I don't know why that constantly comes unbound. Now, you'll probably see this Lesh probably try to take this top tower to further give them the advantage in this side of the map. Further let them control the jungle. Oh no, they're doing Rosh. Okay, yeah, we can talk about Rosh. Rosh is another really big objective on the map because of Aegis. And Dota 2, taking the high ground is really fucking hard because just sieging up without vision is just always going to be fucking hard, and also mischance, and also them just being able to like toss spells into you when you're in like a choke like this. So what people usually do to make that easier when they have the lead is get an Aegis and then send the Aegis guy up here, and he just kind of tanks a bunch of shit, baits out. It's like in CSGO, it's like making somebody bait out utility, but they have 2 lives. So you just suicide them up there, and then after they bait all the utility and shit, then you fucking commit into the fight after all their fucking cooldowns have been popped and they need like 5 or 6 seconds before they can do anything, and they've cast spells and shit. That's the idea. Or you get to run up there and chip at it, and you get to be unpunished, because if they kill you once, they have to kill you again. And your team can help you. There's a lot of uses for it, and that's usually why people get an Aegis. And whenever somebody takes an Aegis for the purpose of like wanting to have 2 lives in a team fight, they are griefing you, and there is no alternative to that. The best Aegis carrier in the game is Storm Spirit, though, because he can just do so much shit with an Aegis that it's like there's no other comparison to be made. But yeah, Aegis is really mostly about just like, don't ooh-woo me. But Aegis is mostly about motherfucker. It's mostly about sieging high ground. So like, I get really upset when people take Aegis from me as the safe laner, because by the time in the game that you want to have an Aegis, you do want to usually be sieging high ground. I'm gonna ignore that one. But it's really frustrating, because if somebody takes your Aegis and you are trying to siege, you will just go up alone, and they'll like try to have their 2 fucking lives in a teamfight thing, and then you'll just never be able to take high ground ever. Taking high ground is really fucking hard in this game. What else? What's like not really overwhelming information that isn't super complicated? These are like just the general concepts of Dota that will help you make better decisions in the game as like a player, and help you follow somewhat of a formula. That way you're not always lost. Is for anybody that is just like, I have like a 2,000 hours in Dota and I don't know what to do in certain stages of the game. It's like, just think about what your team's needs to win is how I would look at it. It's like, do I need my carry to get items for me to win? Do I need to control Roshan to get an Aegis for us to take high ground to win? Do I need, like, it's kind of, I've always saw it as like a flow chart. It's like, can we take high ground? If yes, do we need to fight them for Rosh? Like, if no, do Rosh. If yes, fight them, force their buybacks, then Rosh. I don't know, there's just like a lot of, Dota I feel like has a lot of flowcharts. Or, I mean, it's easier to break it into flowcharts for newer players. It's not actually just like a complex system of memorizing flowcharts, but it helps, I think, personally, make people feel less overwhelmed when you break it into flowcharts. This guy's got spells, but it doesn't matter. Taiga's not going to be able to do anything. This spell isn't enough. But this is all happening while Morph is just kind of skirting around. Although I will say, I don't understand why he won't join these fights. Why is this Morph would just be joining this fight? But I mean, this seems to be working better. But this isn't really my playstyle as a carry. My playstyle as a carry is to join the team as early as humanly possible. I don't really like doing this thing where I just ignore my team for 35 minutes, try to topple the net worth charts, and just hope that, like, my race was better than the enemy safe laner's race. I'd rather... I try to play the macro game more than I try to play the fucking farm race game, because I think the farm race game is unreliable and bad habit building. I think team play is really more where the sauce is at. But if you want to carry pubs, I definitely need to be more active in the farming mindset rather than the fight mindset. But that's just how I feel. I take timings really serious. I take timings really seriously. Man, this guy's got his E-Blade. He needs to do some stuff now. His only threat of dying is getting overgrowthed, and he now can kill the man who can kill him with an E-Blade combo. So I'm not even casting. I'm just like doing like a generalized tutorial for like how I think, at least. It could be right or wrong, but I'm tired and I'm just doing what I can to help people. Can I hit you up with flowcharts? It's not like an actual flowchart, it's just like an image in my head that like, it's like, okay, it's 25 minutes, so from 25 minutes, because the mid game for me has always been the hardest part to make decisions in. The late game I understand, and the early game I understand, but the mid game's so open. So the way I guess I would organize it is like, so what's the state of the game at like 25 minutes? So in this game it's like 20 minutes. So if I'm this Morphling, right? Let me analyze it from this Morphling's perspective here. Let's pause and start here. So how I would make decisions in this game is does this guy still have an age? No, Roche is dead. They did Roche at 17 minutes. So what's the state of the game? It's like, it's pretty even though they have like a lot of the towers. It's like there's like less than a 1k net worth advantage. This guy doesn't, he's dead as fuck, but he gets purged because his Legion's sitting behind him because he's baiting. Okay, holy fuck. Okay, this is the easy part to make this decision off of. Is as soon as this team fight ends, you evaluate the state of the game and you make a decision. So you go, okay, we just lost this fight. Okay, right now, what does he want to do? If I look at the map, I see my Lesh going bottom, and I know I lost this fight. So what do they? What can my enemies do right now? They can go to Roche. If Roche is up, they can take my mid T1. They can ward my jungle. They can do all these things. What can I do right now based on what the enemies can do? I can. If I'm this Morphling, I'm running top right now. He's probably just gonna try to get a return kill. What the fuck? Okay, I don't know what's happening. Well, the Lesh showed up. Okay, so I understand now what happened, but I don't agree with it. And he just baited his entire team, made the enemies cast every single cooldown that they had, and then went in with the Lesh after everybody just suicided for him and then killed everybody. That was stupid. I don't like that. I know why he did it, but I don't... That doesn't sit right with me. Something about that feels like immoral. How the fuck did he just let his whole team die for him? That was stupid. Why'd he just switch in a circlet over his Wraith Band? There we go.
The next label play.
I mean, this guy's teammates are really good. For them to actually just go in like that, cast all their spells, and not just try to run, just keep fighting until they die, because they know the Morphling will clean up the fight, is like kind of crazy. And I don't think I'd ever see something like that in my games until I get, you know, much higher. I don't think I'd ever see anything like that in NA, is the easier statement. Nobody in NA would play like that. Everybody in NA would just try to, like, everyone would be baiting each other, so everybody would just continually kite. Because everyone in NA does shit like this. But, like, in EU, they let each other, I don't know, they play for each other, which is fucking strange. This is an EU game, by the way. This guy's dead now. That one fight gave this guy so much of an advantage. Oh my gosh, he just baited his entire team and it worked. Well, everyone's dead, so now they need to go up the high ground to force buybacks, and if buybacks happen, then they can go Roche, and that's kind of the flow chart right now. Is why aren't they doing Roche, and why are they trying to go up? It's because if these guys have buybacks, they need to force them. No one's gonna buy back at this time though, so they're just gonna back up and probably go just run to Roche, because with that much time left, they're not gonna force a buyback. Everyone on their enemy team would just rather wait. But Roche is still dead. Yeah, Roche is still dead, so they're just gonna set a vision around it. Try to control it. And that's like kind of on the 5 now, is both 5 players should start trying to set up vision and control Roche and de-ward Roche, and the mid laners should be trying to control the waves. The off laner should be ready to jump in, and the safe laner should be farming the triangle near, or the camps near it. That's like if I'm the mid laner right now for fucking Dire, I'm bottom. I'm like actually just bottom right now, shoving in these waves that way. What? Misery, what? You didn't see anyone on the map. You just like went in there, huh? Now you know that they were trying to Roche. It's like there's nothing. That was interesting.
The next label play.
Damn, it's really hard to explain these flowcharts. It's like I would just say it's like when you want to know if you should take Roche, it's like, do I have the opportunity to go high ground? If yes, do they have buybacks? If yes, force the buybacks. If they don't have buybacks because you're like keeping track of when they just buy big items, then it's like, then you go Roche. Or no, that's when you actually just fucking take the racks without doing Roche. But and then when they get close to respawning is when you back out and then do Roche. But oh, here's how you, the easiest way I could explain the concept of forcing people to do whatever you want them to is by just like pushing out waves. So if you push out waves, no matter what position you are, as long as you're not taking the safest farm on the map, you're like, if you're a 5 player and you're farming like here and you're pushing out this wave and you die, it's honestly fucking fine, because you are forcing them to react to the situation of like this wave being shoved. And like the like unspoken pressure that this is you gain the knowledge that somebody's up here, you gain the knowledge that this now needs to be shoved out, and that frees up like X amount of space on the map. You get the knowledge that you could force a 4v4 fight because they just rotated X person up here for you to get a pause 5. Like, shoving lanes and killing creep waves is like the greatest way to make somebody do whatever you want them to in this game. If you ever like, oh, I want someone to like show on the map, you shove a wave and then they'll be forced to show. And if they ignore their waves, they are obviously doing something and obviously going to take tower damage and shit for it. So like, that's how you just read people in this game. Everything is all about the wave, man. Everything is about the wave. Creeps are everything. I'm fucking sleepy. They have Aegis now, so the Morphling is probably going to go up first. He's probably going to try to bait out all the spells that he can. Feed one life and then kill everybody. As soon as he dies, the whole team's just gonna run in and fucking save his ass.
The next label play.
What the?
Why'd the Ursa try to run? Had his ulti up. There's a lot of shit like that I'll never understand. Like, that Ursa running with his ulti up and no BKB, I mean, like I don't think he was thinking very far ahead, because if he gets out there, he doesn't have ulti or BKB to redo anything. So he gets out and then he's just useless. It's not like he's taking the ability for them to not do that objective away. He should have just straight up fought. Ursa leaving there was really fucking stupid. Because, like, if you leave there, what does it do to the enemies? They still just wait for your shit to end. Or, I mean, they still just, like, no, you don't have ulti or BKB, they just stun you and kill you. They just disarm you, they just use spells. Okay. I'm way too tired to keep doing this. 11:45 is where I'll call it. This was a really shit video, but hopefully it has like some good info in it that will help move a person along towards the path of improvement. I'll do like a much better in-depth one. If you need a much better in-depth tutorial on support, I highly recommend this one, because here's how you do it. You go videos, you go here's how you do it. You go shut up, crazy guy. What the fuck is this guy talking about? You go here, you go support tutorial. This fucking...
This is a really good fight hero right now. That's a really good hero to start playing too.
Man, I had so much energy in this video.
You want to do all this instead of starting like I believe in that one game you played Skywrath Mage, you started a headdress. The regen you get from it.
So I made this for an old teammate.
Headdress is actually going to...
I made this for an old teammate, but I actually like, fuck. I said something around 5 minutes, and I was like, holy shit, I'm a fucking... This video is so good.
Yeah, but I probably would have lived. I got scared the Night Stalker would cut me off. But anyway, the reason this is like kind of fine is because now I come back to lane with full mana. I should not have used myself. I should have just died. Because laning is all about managing regen. Everything. So I forced this guy's flask. So now we're even on regen. But the Snapfire now is 1 mango and 1 tango. And I have 3 tangos and 1 mango. Which means I'm going to be able to just poop on this guy in terms of trading. Now, that's like when I'm telling...
Yeah, this video is way fucking better. This video is way better. I know it's really long, but honestly, knowing myself, probably after 30 minutes, all the information's irrelevant. Let's see.
I forgot you could jump over that with Pango. That's something I gotta remember. Oh, that was bad. We killed this guy. Man, I've got like the most ideal fucking loadout ever. How do you just get Keen Optic and
Dude, I'm addicted to music. It's so hard for me to not listen to music.
fucking 8th Blends? Like, Keen Optic on Raptor is actually so insane.
Oh, this was back when neutral items...
Keen Optic and this, Glimpse's cast range is already like 1800, so like... It's actually
Yeah, this was back before neutral items had a slot. This was 10 months ago.
insane. 1800 plus 250 plus 75.
I just said February.
Death, you know.
Yeah, that's a pretty good general overview, but honestly, I think this video, if I just start to like get really quiet, I don't know.
Here's, like,
I should
general
edit this.
decision-making thing.
I should download this, cut out all the shit that doesn't matter, and
You
just
just
upload
saw
it
every
because...
single hero show. You just want to fight. You don't have Ravage anymore, so you are a little bit weaker, and they
Oh my gosh, wait, this
kill
might be
me, but
seriously good
gives
info.
us more vision before I exhaust my usefulness. I get a courier kill because I'm super cool. Dodge all these spells. I end up dying, but I get... The thing is, because I'm juking, I get another Q off, and this Q ends up, like, being pretty value. It gets us another kill on the Invoker. It gives us more vision. The more spells you cast on the 5, the better. Your job has been done. And we see all these rotations mid, so here's like a general Dota decision-making thing. You just saw every single hero show. You just want to fight. You don't have Ravage anymore, so you are a little bit weaker, and they are going to pressure that lead because they know that you don't have Ravage. But, like, I told my guy to go down here and just keep hitting this tower until they respawn, because we just know where they are. We have all the information in the world, so this is just a free play for him. he gets the outpost, he's gonna get one more free wave, and then he's gonna have to back because they're gonna start contesting him. I die here like a goober. I don't remember how I die, I just remember I got voted. They basically have control over like this whole...
Damn, okay. This video is so fucking good. How'd I do that? Alright. I think watch this back as many times as you need. I will highlight it and just call it like dry run or something. You know what, let's do that right now. Let's just go video producer to this current fucking one. Let's go highlight. Let's call it like tutorial dry run. And we'll highlight from here to literally right now. And we will publish this. There. Now it's there forever. But I'm really sleepy. And I will make way more of these in the future because this is actually kind of fun. Tomorrow I'll probably be more awake and watch this back and be like, wow, this is terrible. But I'll be able to like make a better one because I did this. So thank you for watching. Sorry it was fucking bad. I recommend watching my old video. It seems like it's actually really good. Okay.